Round 13 of the World 250cc Motocross Championship comes to Venezuela and Maracay. Here, the garage of Greg Albertine, the current championship leader. Just 8 points lead at the moment over second place man, the Belgian Stefan Everts. So Greg needing to make sure he gets results here at this 13th round today. Very hot and humid. There is the garage of his main protagonist, Everts, number 2 on the JHK Kawasaki. 75 his teammate, Yoki Carlson. Number 3, the Chesterfield bike unpacked of Donny Schmidt. Schmidt injuring a knee at the previous round in America. 79, the bike his teammate of Andre Bartolini. And Bartolini now surrounded by double the amount of mechanics than he normally has. Number 9 there, Edwin Evertson. Hasn't been a good season for Evertson. 1994. He'll look back on it and think, well, where really did I go wrong? Everything being shipped over. There's Albertine putting on those very valuable knee and leg protectors. The Brit rider here, number 4, Kurt Nickel on the Castrol Honda. And really, Nickel, he's not had a bad championship so far, but I suppose some say it could have been better. Number 12, his compatriot, number 12, Robbie Herring, the Fish, on the WJ's Kawasaki, and it hasn't been his best season, but there is the JHK man himself, Stefan Everts, the Belgian, looking for a good result here in Venezuela, maybe hoping to take command of the championship before they go to Japan, the penultimate round. Talon Volan, number 8, the American, led a race in the States. 79, Bartolini, with, as you can see, so many mechanics at hand. Well, if he doesn't do well today, he never will, I suppose. He's got enough hands. There's Albertine, sheltering from the sun. It's very hot and humid here today. And Stefan Everts, well, that's a demonstration of how Stefan Everts devours his dinner. Alec Wright there, the JHK team manager. Final preparations. A little bit of rejetting of the carbs for the bikes. Having a lot of trouble with carburation. Kurt Nickel looking through on last year's notes. And he's Robbie Herring there talking to team members. It's all about keeping notes on what you did last year. Number 1, the pit of the champion, Greg Albertine. On go the new tyres, courtesy of Dunlop. Usually they do it with a wonderful little machine. It's all done by hand. Now this is the Robbie Herring's mechanic, Mick Aldous, with a broken foot. Apparently he fell whilst attempting to either get in or out of the swimming pool. We can talk about that one later, I suppose. But there's Stefan Everts receiving some treatment on that collarbone of his. It's now 3 weeks since, or 4 weeks now, since he broke that collarbone. He rode in the United States the week before and had a couple of good results despite the injury in the 6-inch pin that he has in that shoulder. Here's the riders sheltering from the heat as they come down onto the line for the start of race 1. Now, you just watch this 5-second board, man. There goes the flag man. Well, he's decided that off the track is the best place to be. Gate drops. Look at this. Olympic Christie, eat your heart out, as they say. Into that first corner, the left-hander. Everybody looks to have got through safely. And it is the Brit Kurt Nickel riding the Castrol Honda. Everts there behind him. Then it's Bevorts, Demarie, and there's Albertine. Phantom is behind that group. There he goes, number 13. But this is a great start to this Venezuelan Grand Prix for Kurt Nickel. Bevorts, the Frenchman Demarie. There's Albertine, the defending champ. Only 8 points between himself and Everts going into this heat. And bearing in mind, Everts is now second at the moment behind this man. Kurt Nickel, former 500 World Grand Prix rider. Went to 250s 2 years ago. And this is his second year in 250s. Got the number 4 plate in his first year. That's what I call determination and commitment. But the Belgian, Stefan Everts, the younger of the two men, charging in second place. Bevorts, the Frenchman, then Albertine after Demarie. Fanton is still there behind that group, but Nickel hanging on to this lead at the moment. This has got to be one of the best rides for Kurt Nickel so far this season, but he really is committed. The training pays off, the commitment trains off, and this is where it all comes together on the track. Kurt Nickel, number 4, Everts 2. Nothing separating them but Vorts, Demaria, then Vorts' teammate Albertine, and Everts has found a way through. Everts has gone to the lead. It's Vorts, Nickel second, then Albertine fourth. He's got past Demaria. So the Frenchman having to put his head down to go back after Albertine. They really are starting to chop and change places. Edmondson just gone through there. There's Bartolini. Oh, nearly colliding with Bollet number 14. Bollet, the French Chesterfield runner, and Bartolini, the official Yamaha Chesterfield runner. So not quite teammates, but very nearly coming to grief. And look at Albertine. He can see those points evaporating. If Everts finishes in front of him, there goes Everts. We're looking back behind Everts, and it is Albertine now second. So where's Nickel? There's Bevorts. Nickel down to fourth. Demaria behind him as they start to pick off the back markers. But Stefan Everts looking good for 20 points at the moment, and Albertine desperately needs to do something about this. There he is. Back markers again as Bevorts comes through third. And the mechanics, well, how far can they get into the track? Greg Albertine, the South African, who is off to America racing for 1995. Whether he does or does not win this 250 Grand Prix Championship for the second time, he is off to the States. So Albertine coming through, number 1. Back markers once again. We're looking back for Bevorts and Demaria, and well, there's Effort. So thinking that Albertine had gone up, he has indeed now taken the lead. So Greg Albertine leading. I don't know what happened to Everts. I think they must have had a little coming together somewhere around the circuit, out of our camera's shot, and no doubt that was fraught with all sorts of intentions. But it is Albertine, the championship leader. He will extend till 11 points if he can win this one. Nickel going through, beginning to drop off the pace. But as they say, it's always good to get the starts. Albertine then, taking heat 1, 20 points. Looking back for second place man. And is it his teammate? It is Marnik Bevorts. And we're looking, there is Everts. Everts coming through, and I'm not wholly sure whether he finished third or fourth. Greg Albertine gets a good soaking in water. It's very hot and humid here today. And now for the presentation.